but this is week one, okay? And week one is basically an overview of marketing. In simple terms, and I said this in the welcome video, but in simple terms, marketing is all about customers, and it's about how to attract customers and how to keep them. A little bit, what do I want to say? Expanded definition of marketing is a couple of things. Number one, marketing is a process, okay? And people do marketing, okay? And it's both art and science, okay? And marketing is about satisfying needs and wants, and marketing is about exchange processes. So there has to be, you have to identify what the customer needs and wants are, and you have to be able to satisfy them with what you're offering, whether that's a service or a product. And there's an exchange. You can do barter, but usually we do products for money, services for money. And both parties have to be mutually satisfied. So that is I would say, a very historic view of marketing as a definition. But I'm going to pop up a slide here. And I call it my iceberg theory of marketing. And when I do talks and seminars and things, this is what I use. So if you ask people, and this is even people in industry and in business, what marketing is, most of them will tell you it's promotion. Most of them answer either advertising, sales, social media, websites, and that's what they think marketing is. And that is a part of marketing, and it's a big part of marketing. But it's only, think of it, it's the tip of the iceberg. It's the iceberg that you see above the water. And as we all know, the iceberg below the water is larger. So when you're looking at the things below that make up marketing, they're much more significant. So the first thing that marketing is very strategic. So, and that's kind of my area. I love market strategy and I love planning. In business, there are three things that you always look at or you start with, and that is OST, objective, strategy, tactics. So you always start with those. So market strategy, as a definition, is the target market plus the 4 Ps. So market strategy deals with figuring out who you are going to serve as a customer, and then how are you going to put your marketing mix together in order to serve that customer well. So the first thing is you got to figure out what people need and want, and the way we do that is through market research. And it doesn't have to be huge studies. We can do stuff digitally now really easy. Sometimes, when you're online, they'll say, would you take a short survey? And it's literally 1 or 2 questions. They're trying to figure out what it is that you like and what you want. And they're talking to the customer. So anytime we talk to the customer, we're gathering information on what it is that they would like. Okay, so market research is huge. And honestly, I don't believe that companies can do business without doing some form of research on their customers, because how do you make decisions? The key of market research is making intelligent business decisions and not wasting your money. So that's huge. The second thing in strategy deals with the customer, is segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So you'll see that acronym too, STP, not oil. It is when you segment the market. I'll give you a story. I deal with inventors a lot. And when I talk to inventors about their product, I ask them, I said, well, who could use this? And they go, everybody. And that's a red flag. You should run the other direction fast as you can, because the only product that appeals to everybody is a commodity, and you don't want to be a commodity. That means there's no differences between you and anybody else. And so when you're a commodity, people shop on price, and they're looking for the lowest price. So the things that we sell as commodities are things like lotto tickets and oranges and apples. Even though Florida is trying to tell us Florida oranges are better than California oranges, it's a frickin' orange. And you're going to look at prices on that. Okay, so we even get into this on things like big appliances. There's a lot of people out there that go, a refrigerator's a refrigerator, just give me the lowest price for the things that I need. And as marketers, we want to differentiate. We want to make people think that our stuff is different or better than everybody else's. So, so you segment your market. You're not everything to everybody. Okay. And when we get to chapter 7, we'll talk more about segmentation and stuff. And then targeting is you pick your customer. You don't go to everybody. You pick, and then you position your offering among all the competitor offerings. Okay, so that alone is just enormous in marketing. You have to figure out who your customer is first. Okay, and that involves a lot of data. Okay, marketing is definitely an art and a science, but I'm going to tell you on the strategy side, it's a lot of data. So if you're a numbers person, you can make a ton of money in this area in marketing. Okay, so then that's all about the customer. And then we have the marketing mix, which is the 4 Ps, which is product, price, place, and promotion. So promotion's there, but it's not the biggest part of marketing. So all of your product and service decisions are made by marketing people. Okay, so that's your features, that's your branding, that's you work with engineering and manufacturing to make sure that things are correct. Pricing is another huge area of marketing, in my opinion, the hardest thing to do. Arts and science again. I talk to really my friends who are all in finance, and they go, "What is hard about pricing?" They go, "You figure out your costs and you add 30%." And they're right. You have to figure out your cost. If you cost your floor, if you go below your floor, you're shipping money and you're going to go out of business. So you have to cover your costs. But if I told Rolex and Tesla just to add 30% to their cost and sell their product, they'd laugh at me because Tesla and Rolex are a markup of 1,000% as opposed to 30%. So as I told my finance friend, I said, so I would leave money on the table, which of course they didn't want to hear. So pricing, the top end of price is what people will pay. It's what the market will bear. And again, you have to do market research to figure out where that level is. So that's interesting discussion to have. And then we have distribution in place. And distribution deals with the supply chain. And the supply chain, we'll go more into that in distribution, but you have upstream, I guess I'll say, upstream, well, I guess I'll do it this way, yeah. Upstream is everything from raw materials to the manufacturer. So everything that it takes to make a product before it gets to the manufacturer is upstream operations. And then from the manufacturer to downstream, that is everything from it's everything in getting the product to the customer. So you have traditionally distribution, but you have wholesalers and retailers, and then it gets to the customer, and that's a traditional channel system. Today, we can go direct to the consumer because of the web, so you can absolutely save them money because you're not using a wholesaler or retailer. But sometimes you need a wholesaler because you need to inventory and warehouse, and you need to package and do an assortment of things. I mean, think of golf balls. Okay, a manufacturer makes all these golf balls, but you need to actually put them in assortments, 3, 6, 9, 12, and so that's what a wholesaler will do for you. And the wholesaler or the distributor has large plants. If you go on the 15, if you ever drive the 15, all of those big, large buildings out there are distribution facilities. And they are doing wholesaling and packaging, and then they do shipping from that. And, distribution, shipping is logistics, and it's another small part, huge industry, but small part of distribution, and that's actually getting the product to you from the distribution center. Okay, and then we get to promotion, and promotion is a lot of different things. It's advertising, which is paid. It's publicity and PR, which is somewhat free, but you still have to pay for it to do it. But to get it on the air, it's somewhat free. There's sales promotion, which is kind of the miscellaneous category of marketing. There's online, which is huge now and growing. And then there's personal selling, which B2B business sales is huge. Like if you look at an org chart for a large corporation, you will see chief executive officers in charge of marketing. And they usually branch out sales because it's huge. So they have sales. You'll have operations. You'll have finance. You'll have HR. You'll have legal. And all of those departments have to work together. marketing tends to be more strategic and long-term thinking, whereas sales is short-term because sales has to make sales to provide the revenue. And interesting enough, in marketing, the reason marketing is so critical to business is because that's where your revenue streams come from. The only two areas that you get revenue from are pricing and sales. And that's where your revenue comes from. And that's all the area of marketing. So I hope that that gives you a little bit better understanding of what marketing is. And it involves all the 4 Ps. When you get to services, you get to add 3 more Ps, which is people, process, and physical environment. But that all entails marketing. So enjoy chapter 1. Like I said, it's an overview, but you need to know it. It's a huge chapter for a foundation for the rest of the class. So I think that, and then I'm trying to think what you have for, let me look at this really quick. Week 1, let's do that. So basically this week you have your reading, watching this video hopefully, yeah, the discussion board. And basically your assignment for this week is to read the syllabus, sign up with Connect, let me know you're in the class, and you have, I think, the quiz on chapter 1, and that's it. So an easy week to get you started, hopefully. And again, if you have any questions or comments, just contact me and let me know. Have a wonderful week and blessings. Take care.